YouTube. Greetings, YouTube. Good to have you. Good to be with you. Get anything else set up here. Is not what we want. That is what we want. Okay. All right. Firefox would be good. Yes. Let's see what we got cooking, man. What do I have since I last saw y'all? Oh, British Mom. Yeah. Gotta play that one. Definitely gotta play that. We did that yesterday. This is insane. I don't know if I covered this one. I'm not entirely sure. But a janitor, a freaking janitor at Brown University spotted the shooter peering into windows in classrooms over a dozen times, informed the university and the authorities, who did nothing. Freaking janitor. A janitor and like a homeless guy. Two separate people. Janitor and a homeless guy. Doing a more effective job than the authorities who are provided God only knows how much money to do their jobs with. All kinds of technology and surveillance tech that the average citizen obviously doesn't have access to, and yet a Janny and a homeless tard. I guess, well, I guess he's apparently pretty smart, but you know, whatever. You get the point. They did better than the cops. Insane. I think I saw somewhere that the I don't know if it was the police chief, but some person that was somewhere in the chain of bullshit got cut. They lost their job over all this, so good. See if we can find anything on that. Got fired. There we go. DEI obsessed police chief put on leave. So, I guess that's not quite fired, right? Put on leave.
It looks like they just put a one of their heads of building management on, and guys will put up the screen. The vice president for public safety and emergency management has been put on administrative leave effectively. Chad, that seems like a little CYA, a little late in the game for that, does it not?
Well, Laura, we're about a week too late for something like this to take place. Like we said, we have dead students. We have a university that's more concerned about putting you in your safe place so your feelings don't get hurt than we do about the safety and security of college students. Yep. This has got to change. I've said it time and time again. We do an excellent job for the most part of training elementary, middle, and high school students and staff on how to respond to these types of events and how to prepare for them. We don't do that at the college level.
It looks like they just put a
Anyone else get cut? Anyone else put on leave? Let's see. Or just the police chief guy. This dude. Guess that's it, man. Insane. Okay. Let's play British Mom.
So, as a mother of two fighting-age boys, I have something to say to the UK government. Now, apparently, you are suggesting that the UK's sons and daughters get prepared to fight when needed. And I'm just going to point out why that is not going to happen. You expect our sons and daughters to fight, while on a daily basis they walk past previous fighters for our country rotting in the streets. They see their grandparents freezing in their houses, unable to afford heating and eating. They see their parents working every single hour that God sends for them only to be stressed and frantic at the end of the month trying to scrape money together. They watched when they went to school and saw their classrooms crumbling, their teachers failing, and their safety deteriorating. They sit at home at night, not being able to meet up with their friends and play out like their parents once did, because it's not safe enough for them. The UK daughters are fearful to even walk the streets of the UK in the daytime on their own, as their government have allowed undocumented men to enter the UK without any vetting. The UK sons have to grapple with the fact that they either carry a knife or they get attacked by one. But the government still expects our sons and daughters to fight for our country. Where do you think this patriotism is going to come from? Is it going to come from the flags that you've pretty much banned and dubbed as racist? Is it going to come from our Catholic and British heritage shining through on a daily basis in the UK? No, it's not. You have crippled and crumbled every single part of the UK identity. You've called it racist. You've called it far right. You've dubbed it as Nazism. But you expect our sons and daughters to fight.
See, that's the thing, though. I don't think they do. I don't think they do expect it. I think they expect them to do exactly what they are doing. Or, well, what she's suggesting. I think that's what they want. I think they want people so demoralized they fuck it. Give up. Leave somewhere else. Probably here.
Now, I suggest you get your sons and daughters fighting ready, because they're going to be the only children that will be your salvation. I wonder how happy they will be to fight for you.
Probably not at all. Oh man, yeah, some weird stuff going on with the Epstein files. Apparently redactions that weren't actually redacted. A whole bunch of them. I guess all you had to do was basically just copy the text on the page and then paste it, and you could see what was behind the black bars. That's interesting, isn't it? Think that was an accident? Because I'm not so sure it was. It wasn't the only interesting little screw up either. I believe there was also another major one in which some kind of link was left in there that was still active, and a bunch of other files were exposed through that. See if I can find that. Forget where I saw it. I don't think I tagged it. But yeah, they've released some interesting things by accident. Of course, one of the Epstein files is literally just 100 pages of black. And it definitely doesn't work on that one. I tried. But it does work on others. Confirmed. Pretty interesting. It really, again, kind of makes you wonder if they meant to do it. Okay. Oh man, this was sad. Obviously none of us like Ben Sass, politically speaking, when he was in office. He was an adversary at best for us. You know, he was supposed to be one of our guys. He was Republican, but certainly didn't act that way. But he just announced today that he's dying. He has stage 4 metastasized pancreatic cancer, which is just sad. And I would not wish that on anybody. Terrible. Certainly not his family. He discusses at length a number of things here. I'm not going to read through the whole post, but it is quite a nice message. If you're not remembering who he is, here, I'll bring up his picture. This guy. He retired sometime last year, I believe. Okay, pardon, 2 years ago. He represented Nebraska till 2023, at which point he resigned to become president of the University of Florida until July 2024. Yeah, very sad. I wish his family well, and him in his remaining time. I don't know how long he's got, but didn't sound like it's very long. Okay. Oh, this was interesting. Apparently, I had not seen this. This came out like months back, like a year, maybe even like a year or so ago, but I missed it. Apparently, Epstein claimed somewhere in the emails that Hillary Clinton was having sexual relations with Vince Foster, or seemed to infer that. I don't know if you can quite say that he's claiming it, but it's really hard to tell based on the context here. Michael Wolf asks him, what's the thumbnail on Nussbaum and Foster? I have to assume that's just asking, like, what's the 40,000-foot view, I guess, right? On Nussbaum and Foster. The Nussbaum White House counsel, Hillary doing naughties with Vince. Could have been referring to another. No, it can't be another Vince Foster. Yeah, it's got to be. You're doing naughties with Vince. It was set in 2016, well after Vince Foster died, so I don't know. I'm really not too sure what it could be referring to exactly. But it's a weird one. Pretty strange. Nope, we don't want that. We want this. There we go. All right, down to the bottom we go. Scrolling. What do we have from the White House today, by the way? Anything? Oh, they're live? What are they doing? Yeah, this is so great. I have to say, I was touched by this because this is like old school PSB right here. They got the lo-fi beats. Guys, remember those days? Way back when? We'd have that cooking in the background for dead air. Yeah, they got a 24-hour live feed of lo-fi chill beats with a nice list of criminal illegal aliens on this one. The other one I saw was list of accomplishments or something like that. Had that running last night. Good fun. But nothing else today, I guess. See what the White House schedule is for the day. Jeff hit me with it this morning. No, okay. All the new battleships, Trump class. They're the biggest battleships anybody's ever built Huge. It'd be pretty cool. Should call the first one the USS Huge. USS Huge. At least 8,000 new Epstein-linked documents released by the Justice Department. Good, they're continuing to release. Very, very nice. Way back. Crack Body Hunter says, way back when MLLU was a little one. Oh, speaking of, oh my goodness. I found, check this out. You guys are going to love this. Give me a second. I found old VHS, digitized VHS videos of myself, yours truly, as a young boy. Where is it? Here we go. Here we go. There's me. Here's my uncle. Wait till you see my dad. It's gonna freak you out. There's me in the back. Or am I driving? Driving? No, that's me in the back. This was my birthday. I remember this with the clown. Here I am. Hold on. Come back here. So cute. Look at me go. There's me. There's my best buddy. Where's Alex? There's Alex. Yeah. There I am.
I'm a cowboy.
I'm a cowboy.
I'm a cowboy.
Okay, I gotta find, I gotta see if I can find my pops. Where's the Christmas one? I don't know where the Christmas one went. Not sure where we stuck that one. It's in a different folder somewhere. Oh, look at this. This is my granddaddy. Not Mr. Wizard, the other. This is my dad's dad. He was on an episode of Unsolved Mysteries with Robert Stack.
Jerry also ordered.
Come on, where's he at? Where's he at? Where's he at? Come on, it's somewhere. There he is. There he is. Come back here.
With the remains, but since it was not mentioned on the death certificate that ID
Tags must have been thrown from the helicopter and burned at a lower temperature. Later, they arrived at a different conclusion.
the ID tags that are recovered from a crash site would have been brought to the mortuary with the remains, but since it was not mentioned on the death certificate that ID tags were part of the identification process, I have to assume that new ID tags were made at the Army mortuary in Saigon.
I wish I could tell you what this was about.
That was standard policy at that time.
That is normal.
I don't know. I'll have to watch the full episode. I haven't watched it, but yeah, they pulled him in to interview him for some. He was like an Army mortician or like whatever you call it. Ran a funeral home all his life after getting out. Yeah, that's my dad's side of the family. Mom's side of the family is where Mr. Wizard's at. That's my mom's dad. And I don't know that we have anything of him on the stored drives here. I haven't really dug through all of it yet. Wish I could remember where the Christmas stuff was at. It was a good one. Let's see. I'll try searching for it. If I find it, I'll pull it up. All right, let's see. There we go. All right. We want... Oh man, Hunter Biden went on the Sean Ryan show. That's right. Bizarre. I was watching some of that last night. It's very difficult. I have to say. It's a very difficult watch. He's not easy to listen to. The brain, I don't know, has maybe just been fried by decades of crack cocaine and porn and hookers. Probably some syphilis.
I got you something else.
It's bad. Like, it's really difficult. It's very difficult to listen to him. He has great difficulty formulating a coherent thought that has a conclusion, beginning, a middle, and an end. It's like his dad, but with crack. Kind of. It's the best I can come up with. It's bad. And it goes on for 5.5 freaking hours. 5.5 hours. I don't know why Sean Ryan would have the guy on. I guess, well, hey, clicks. Sure, it's a big interview for him. Definitely comes through how badly Hunter Biden wants people to like him.
This one. He's in the fucking Epstein files, man.
Yeah.
And that
How badly Hunter just wants to be one of the guys, just a normal person.
that's the reason
It's actually kind of sad.
we're not getting him. And it's like what?
Because he couldn't be further from that. Like, if he tried, he's about as far from one of the guys as it's ever going to get, both in terms of birth and circumstance and just, well, his completely fried brain.
What are we even talking about?
Yeah.
Susie Wiles came out today in a Vanity Fair article. Have you read that?
No.
He's bitter. That comes through. Very, very bitter at the world, society, just broadly, and plenty of individuals too. Again, I haven't watched the whole thing yet, but that's my impression after getting about an hour in, maybe 45 minutes in. It's weird. Very strange one. What do they
feel like the
Hold on. Do they have chapter markers here? What all do they get into? Yeah, okay. Of course they talk about his addiction. Yeah. Oh, they bring up Burisma, huh? And international controversies. I have to say, based on what I saw, Mr. Ryan didn't do the greatest job of pushback. If there was any, it was very weak. At least during the portion that I watched. I don't know, maybe some of you who have watched the whole thing can expand, but during the beginning portion that I saw, there was essentially none. It was very kid gloves. Maybe that changes when they get to the Burisma stuff. But Let's
And
see.
so that's when we come to Burisma.
Oh, so he doesn't even. Sean Ryan doesn't even bring it up. He lets Hunter take him there, huh?
And the way that Burisma came to me was through a partner, a guy that and not a partner as much as a potential partner who had a great relationship. And
This is what you see what I mean here? Like, he can't talk. It's very hard to listen to.
Anyway, it doesn't matter.
See,
He
just
got
like
a
his
partner
dad,
from
man.
Donald Trump.
Well, anyway, like
What did he
literally,
give up?
like that is direct from his dad. Just stops mid thought. Well, anyway,
Partner for.
No, he ripped
fizzles off.
off some a Native American tribe and some bond deal that he did with some grifter and anyway, I mean,
Like, it's so uncanny. I've got to watch that again. That was just insane. It was like direct. You could hear Joe Biden.
after the Russians started, and so that's when we come to Burisma. And the way that Burisma came to me was through a partner, a guy that and not a partner as much as a potential partner who had a great relationship, and then anyway, it doesn't matter.
Anyway, you know the thing. Don't jump. Crazy, right? All right, let's see. Next up. John Brennan's lawyers confirm he is indeed a target of a Florida grand jury probe. Asks judge to intervene. Why? Why would judge do that? Okay. Take an extraordinary step of confirming that their client is a target of a criminal grand jury investigation in Florida, and are asking that the chief federal judge in Miami stop the proceedings on the grounds that the Justice Department is judge shopping. Excuse me, really? Like they have room to talk about judge shopping? Are you shitting me? They judge shopped thousands of people into jail over January 6th, so fuck off. That's disgusting. If anything, they're shopping for a judge that'll actually handle it fairly. Because that's apparently where we have to be in this country. The revelations came in a letter that defense lawyers Ken Weinstein and Natasha Harnwell Davis sent Monday to U.S. District Judge Cecilia M. Altanaga, a Bush appointee to the bench who supervises the Miami Federal District Court. Weinstein and Davis revealed that they have been informed by U.S. Attorney Jason Redding-Quinones in Miami that the grand jury is investigating Brennan's role in the 2016 to 2017 Russia collusion probe. That has since been discredited. Yeah, fuck off. Including a CIA assessment that Russian President Vladimir Putin tried to help Trump win the 2016 election. Oh, they're still repeating it. Yep. Well, there you go. Criminal probe. It's happening. Slowly but surely. Got to dot the I's and cross the T's. This will end up being the biggest, after all, biggest conspiracy / anything case ever. Trump admin says it will investigate security failures at Brown University after deadly mass shooting. Good. Sounds like it was a train wreck. That's just based on what we saw publicly.
And I had said to him, I had caught him the last time on December 1st.
There's the Janny.
And I was right behind him as he was coming in the building. I was coming back from my break, and I went right to the ESS staff. And I had said to the ESS staff member, I said, hey, this guy looks suspicious. I said, he just went in the bathroom. I said, you should go check him out. He's like, I'm not here for that.
Wow. Incompetence abounds. Okay. Did we see this?
And it looks like they just put a one of their heads of building
Yeah, we saw that one. On leave. Trump admin has just arrested over 100 illegal truck drivers in California and seized their commercial driver's licenses. Good.
Immigration and Customs Enforcement have arrested 101 illegal alien semi-truck drivers and seized their commercial driver's licenses in a California operation called Operation Highway Sentinel. Most of the arrests took place on highways and ports throughout the state. Democratic California Governor Gavin Newsom has rejected the Trump administration's effort to arrest illegal migrant truck drivers.
Suckers. Oh, well, how about that? That's interesting. Trump DOJ and Harmy Dillon just sued Washington, D.C. for its unconstitutional ban on semi-automatic firearms. This is very quickly following the beginning of that Second Amendment Civil Rights Division. Good, good, good. Would love to see a change in the way D.C. handles firearms law. It's insane. Used to be even worse. And it's still bad. Bill Clinton's spokesperson calls on DOJ to release Epstein files referencing the former president. That's funny. Former president spokesperson accuses the DOJ of weaponizing the documents against him. They kind of do that all on their own. It's not like Trump haven't asked to do anything there. Okay. Photos released to J.D. Vance training with Navy SEALs. Pretty cool. Okay, it's now confirmed California Democrats and Mayor Karen Bass administration changed the Pacific Palisades After Action report and deleted evidence in order to shield themselves from liability. Hold up. What?
The LA Times just exposed a massive cover-up, Firegate, a deliberate effort to cover up the findings in the After Action report by changing the After Action report.
Wow.
This was deliberately and intentionally done to shield LA Fire Department, Mayor Bass, and her administration from the failures of the fires on January 7th. The type of changes that were made include the fact that the earlier fire on January 1 reignited on January 7th, and the fire department officers were ordered off the area. They deleted all of those references from the After Action report. This is an intentional cover-up to reduce accountability, the lack of transparency. The culture of corruption in the city of Los Angeles is despicable and is out of control. Mayor Bass and her administration and the leadership of the fire department should be held accountable. And it's certainly not fair to the hard-working men and women of the LA Fire Department that serve this city so greatly every day. Read the LA Times story, Sunday paper, the front section, and today's paper in the California section about the battalion chief who was upset that the changes were made.
Wow. Let's see if we can track down any reporting on this. No discussion whatsoever, huh? Nothing. As hundreds gathered in Birmingham, Alabama to attend the funeral of 19-year-old Ella Cook. One of the two students killed in the Brown shooting, a university janitor came forward saying he noticed the suspect repeatedly lurking on campus and reported him to a third-party security company several times, but no action was taken.
In Birmingham, Alabama, hundreds turned out today for the funeral of one of the victims of the mass shooting at Brown University. Ella Cook was 19. She and another student were killed when a gunman opened fire during a study session on the Providence, Rhode Island campus. The gunman wounded 9 others and later took his own life. A Brown University custodian said today he noticed the gunman repeatedly lurking around campus and notified a third-party security company several times, but to no avail. In Birmingham, Alabama, hundreds turned out today for the funeral of...
Yeesh. Oh, great. I'm sorry. 3 young boys in Ohio, age 8, 11, and 12, led police on a nice little car chase before crashing into a home.
I have 2 in a backyard right now.
Ah, yes. Youth. Just doing what youth do.
On the stomach now! On your stomach now!
Better check him for guns, officer.
Please. Do not look at me!
I mean, seriously.
Where's the third one?
He over there.
He over there.
Stand by. Got
Good golly.
2 pruned out there compliant. I'm getting you an address. Stand by. Do not look at me. Get on the ground. Do not
8, 11, and 12.
look at me.
My mama.
Do not look at me. Stay on the ground.
Don't my mama me, son. Are you kidding me?
You're in there? Get over here now.
Mama can't save you now.
Get over here now. Go. Just get on the ground. Stand by. I got all 3 now. Stand by.
Please don't hurt us. You call my mom.
We'll call parents in a second. You guys are doing good. Thank you for complying. Once I get all the units here, we'll detain everybody and we'll figure out everything out.
Going to jail?
We're not going to jail right now. You're going to be detained, okay? Just keep on complying.
Maybe you should have thought about that before you boosted the car, kid.
Hey, stop. You should have thought about that before you got in the car.
I'm sorry, please.
Okay, well, stop crying. You see anybody else crying? Stay off your phone for a minute. I don't care. Stay off your phone.
Kid's on his freaking phone. Are you kidding me? Unbelievable.
Stay right there. No. You can't call anybody. You can't
Oh,
answer anybody.
wow.
I got it all in there.
Okay. Do you have any guns? Does anybody have any guns on you?
Oh, there it is. There it is.
Do you have any guns on you? What's your name? Take that off.
I got shot in my head already. I don't tote guns.
You got
I got shot in my head already.
gun with you?
8, 11, or 12. One of the 3. Shot in his head already. Just doing youth things.
You don't tote
Boosting cars, getting shot.
guns. You just hold on. Don't reach for anything. Hey. It's all good. Relax.
This is our first time in the car.
Well, I could tell by the way that you drove. You suck at driving. Stand up. Up against the fence. Check in. Just turn. Is anybody else crying?
Wow. Anyway, think they'll learn their lesson? Anyone? Anyone? I don't. That's just me. Oh, yeah. Heard about this one. Vince Zampella, one of the creators of Call of Duty, the now massive video game franchise, killed in a rather brutal car crash. I don't even want to play it. It's so bad. I'll stop there. It's, he hits a guardrail, like dead on. Gets ejected from the car. You see him get dragged off towards the end of the video. They pull him off the road. He's clearly still conscious too. It's bad. Not going to put you guys through that. Connecticut elected its first Sikh mayor. How nice.
Like many towns and cities in our state, Norwich got a new mayor on this past election day. And as your New London County reporter Luke Hydash explains, this election was more than just a changing of hands.
Swarjeet Singh is making history as the first Sikh mayor, not only in Norwich, not only in Connecticut, but in all of New England.
Norwich is the only city in America that have Sikh flag in the office, even before me.
The flag is a constant reminder of the mayor's faith right over his shoulder.
The faith actually plays a very important role, even while we tie the turban every day. It's a reminder to serve community. 21-23.
The businessman turned city councilman ran for mayor to make the city more affordable, he says.
And we do need revenue to lower the...
For who? More affordable for who?
Burden on the residential side. We need more commercial component in our city.
He says part of that is getting the Occam Industrial Park going, a 180...
Oh yeah, I'm sure it'll fill right up with Singhs.
4-acre lot right off 395. In just a few weeks since taking off...
Okay, his name is Singh. All right.
He's also working on revamping the mayor's website, a recognition program for local businesses, a civic education initiative, and putting together an advisory board to the mayor.
We are acknowledging 53 different cultural days.
Nowadays, the mayor's desk is full of
53
and events and recognitions for the community.
This office represents people of Norwich.
And reminders of his own values that he says got him here.
I want to make sure whatever we are doing to help people at the end of the day.
Oh, dear me.
Reporter in Norwich, Luke Hydash, Channel 3, Eyewitness News.
Oh, dear me. All right. Where was that? Connecticut. Yeah. Oh, here's the Janny. Custodian. Sorry. Brown University custodian, Derek Lisi.
I reported him 3 times to the ESS staff. I was on the phone with my fiance.
Wow.
And I said, this guy just looks weird to me. I was like, I gotta say something.
Wow.
You know, I can't really say, I just felt something kept telling me, don't ignore it. Don't ignore it. I had caught him the last time on December 1st, and I was right behind him as he was coming in the building. I was coming back from my break, and I went right...
This guy should be a cop instead of custodian.
...to the ESS staff. And I had said to the ESS staff member, I said, hey, this guy looks suspicious. I said, he just went in the bathroom. I said, you should go check him out. He's like, I'm not here for that. I'm here to cover a Palestinian event that the kids never showed up for.
Oh my gosh.
And I said, oh, okay. And so I had seen that guy before numerous times in that month. And I said, okay, nothing happened. Maybe it's just a guy that just doesn't like to talk to people. You know, it's really hard to put blame on anybody. You know what I'm trying to say? It's something that no one would expect to happen. Nobody. And it wasn't surreal for me until I went with my fiance to the site and we dropped off flowers. And that's when it really set in, pretty bad, you know? But I just think if there was cameras, maybe they would be able to get to him sooner. I don't know. You know, I wish I knew.
Yep.
And then I also was like, could I have done more something? You know? Maybe that day, should I have followed him in the bathroom? Maybe he would have came out, maybe something would have happened to me. I don't know. You know what I mean? That's the way I look at it. And at the same time, I just feel it wasn't what I could have done, because two students on here today. And it's like, that's what kills me every day.
DHS or someone should be offering this guy a job.
It's because I seen him, and then to know that it was him, I actually seen it, I can't get his face out of my head.
Guy should not be a janitor. He should be working for DHS or someone like that. That instinct. Complete failure of leadership of the state of Georgia. They were feckless, failed to exercise the responsibilities of their office to ensure that only legal votes were counted. Oh yeah, all that mess. Yep.
You really zeroed in on what I wanted to address in this.
They've essentially admitted that the whole thing was shite. 2020.
discussion, and that is the failure of the Georgia legal system to allow for a review of these facts until now. It is 2025, Cleta. Isn't it a failure of the Georgia legal system that we're only learning about this now?
Well, it is let me just say this. The chief judge of Fulton County, his name is Chris Brashear. He has since retired, but he was the chief judge. And it was his responsibility under the state constitution of Georgia to appoint a judge eligible to hear our election contest. We filed that contest on December the 4th. Would you like to know when he finally appointed a judge? He appointed a judge on the 4th of January when the certification and of the Electoral College votes was going to take place 2 days later, and the new judge has set a trial for 3 days after the Electoral College votes. So they made it impossible for us to present our evidence. And since then, there has been, so it's a complete failure of the Georgia legal system. It is a complete failure of the leadership of the state of Georgia. Governor Kemp, the lieutenant governor at the time, Jeff Duncan, Brad Raffensperger, the moron Secretary of State who now is running for governor, the Attorney General Chris Carr, who is also running for governor. They were feckless. They failed to exercise the responsibilities of their office to ensure that the only legal votes were counted. And we documented, and people can look in the public record, a 64-page complaint, and that shows the statutes that were violated and how many votes had been included in the count that were in violation of state law. And now they say, it's a clear threat.
Boo, 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 boo. All right. Thousands of new U.S. Army recruits have begun returning home in time for some Christmas cheer. Atlanta.
Well, when I get home, originally, I can't wait to see my dog. That's what I'm most excited for, but I'm probably going to go see my grandparents and see how they're doing, because I haven't talked to them in so long, and I know they're missing me too.
Neato. All right. Ukrainian men taking desperate and dangerous measures to flee their country. I bet they are.
So what you see on the right-hand side is Ukraine.
Dan Benga knows how dangerous these mountains can be. He and his team have rescued hundreds of Ukrainians who tried to cross them.
They don't have knowledge, they don't have experience, and they don't have professional equipment, because on this mountain you need professional equipment to be alive.
To survive. The Carpathian Mountains that cut along Romania's 400-mile border with Ukraine have become a deadly magnet for Ukrainian men fleeing conscription at home and seeking freedom in the EU.
You can see how steep these mountains are. It is frankly astonishing that up to 100 Ukrainians are making this crossing still every single week.
The risks are huge. Since Russia's invasion in 2022, the Salvamont Mountain Rescue Service has carried out countless perilous missions that have saved 377 Ukrainian lives. The longest operation lasted nearly 6 days. Not everyone makes it. The Romanian border police say 29 Ukrainians have died crossing the mountains and the Tisa River that separates the two countries.
This is a job we were prepared. We are training every day, and this is a job we are doing. It's not about being Ukrainian or Russian or American. It's about being human.
A human being.
Yeah.
So if you could deliver a message to the men of Ukraine, would you tell them, stop trying to cross through these mountains? It's too dangerous?
I really can't say don't cross the mountains. I can say take care of you.
It's a lesson that Dima, who asked us not to reveal his identity, learned the hard way. He made the crossing shortly after receiving his draft papers early on in the war. Things quickly went wrong when his group got lost.
Minus 20, без еды, без воды.
Без воды?
Да.
No water?
No.
No food?
Снег только.
Just the snow.
20 километров шел босиком.
Я понимал, что у меня как бы проблемы с ногами, но на то время я не чувствовал. Почувствовал только тогда, когда уже был в больнице.
And then did they have to remove all the toes?
Да. Да, если бы меня не нашли, нам еще 2 часа, спасатели бы, я бы с вами сейчас не разговаривал.
Stories like Dima's have done little to stop the flow. According to the Romanian border police, more than 30,000 Ukrainians have entered the country illegally since the war began. Martial law prohibits eligible men between the ages of 23 and 60 from leaving Ukraine. Many see crossing these mountains as their only option. Numbers are down from their peak in 2024 when the mobilization age was lowered to 25. But even now, as winter sets in, the crossings continue.
Саме тут перевірений, безпечний, надійний, швидкий вихід за кордон чоловікам. Саме з нами.
For those who can afford it, some smugglers openly sell their services on TikTok and Telegram. 9,000 euros to get to Moldova, 12,000 euros or around $14,000 to Romania. Artem, as he calls himself, says he helps facilitate these escapes.
We rescued, I think, in this moment, more than 600 people.
I find it really interesting that you use the word rescue.
Of course, because I see this situation like that, and I think we rescue people who just want to leave, to build their future.
And what do you say to people who view you and who view those who are trying to leave as traitors?
I don't take care about them, to be honest. I help people, I save people.
Ukrainian authorities see it differently, faced with a manpower crisis as the war heads towards its 5th year. Men caught trying to leave the country illegally are rounded up. Some have reported being mobilized shortly afterwards.
Hi, Victor. How are you?
34-year-old Kiev taxi driver Viktor Pinchasov has just crossed into Romania.
I'm glad you're okay. You survived. How long did it take you?
5 days, 4 nights.
5 days, 4 nights, walking through the mountains.
Yeah, 3 big mountains.
He says the
the mountain,
journey was tough, but the decision to leave was easy. His 5-month-old daughter, Eva, is in Switzerland, and he has little faith in ongoing negotiations to end the war.
Do you believe that there is going to be peace?
No.
No.
I want to believe, but I see nobody wants peace.
What's the most important reason you left?
My daughter had freedom. I want to live and understand that I'm free. I can go, I can live in prison. I'm free man.
It is a bleak outlook shared by many Ukrainian men, willing to leave their homeland behind to take their futures into their own hands. Clarissa Ward, CNN, Maramureş, Romania.
Oh, 24 F-22s seen departing Joint Base Elmendorf-Richardson in Alaska. This was last night.
Another one now. They're taking off quick.
Weird. Quite a few. I mean, a couple dozen. Shoot. Trump says the New York Times is a serious national security threat. What? Oh, boy. Okay. Hold on a second. Okay. Sorry, just cleaning up some windows here. There we are. All right. Much better. What did he say? Failing New York Times and their lies and purposeful misrepresentations is a serious threat to national security of our nation. Their radical left unhinged behavior, writing fake articles and opinions in a never-ending way, must be dealt with and stopped. They're a true enemy of the people. Interesting. I don't know where quite he tends to go with that, but guess we'll see. Weird. U.S. Department of War has officially entered into an agreement with XAI to expand genai.mil. That's a site? I don't know. Maybe they just mean generative AI in the military? That's all about. Grok-based frontier AI will be deployed across military and civilian operations, giving 3 million personnel access to AI capabilities starting in early 2026 globally. Oh boy. Wonder what odd things that's going to bring to the digital space. Strange things will be afoot, I guarantee you, as soon as that starts. South Carolina Town Committee keeping a nativity scene on public display, defying the mayor who ordered it be taken down. Good.
A small town in South Carolina is defying its mayor to protect their nativity scene. Kimberly Bird, head of the beautification committee in Mullins, decorated the city's new marketplace with a nativity scene, but she later received a text message from the mayor saying to take it down, citing concerns for residents of other faiths and beliefs.
Oh, get out.
Despite this, Bird has chosen to keep that
you know what they can do? Suck it up.
Scene in place, saying, quote, Christmas isn't about Santa, it's about the birth of Jesus Christ. So obviously the mayor in this situation is wrong, and it's good to see the town isn't saying what the mayor has to say.
That's right. We need more nativity scenes.
A small town in South Carolina is
ordering them to take it down because it might
in place.
Wait, how did they put it?
Take it down, citing concerns for residents of other faiths.
Concerns for residents of other faiths. Like, no. President Trump on Monday announced plans to build a new fleet of Navy battleships. Golden Fleet.
President Trump has revealed a new plan to take the U.S. Navy back to the future. He wants to bring back the battleship, long overlooked, in favor of aircraft carriers and submarines.
They'll be the fastest, the biggest, and by far 100 times more powerful than any battleship ever built.
The president said he approved building 2 of the new high-tech battleships in the next 2.5 years.
Interesting move.
He did not say what they will cost, but the U.S. Naval Institute says they could cost $15 billion each. President Trump
can't wait to see him. Amazon says they've blocked 1,800 North Koreans from applying for jobs. Jeez, that's quite a few. NVIDIA has told Chinese customers it plans to start delivery of its second most powerful AI chips by mid-February, according to Reuters. Okay, Secretary Duffy, Transportation Secretary, on craziness with commercial driver's licenses.
Rules that are set up to make sure our roads are safe. And so if you can't speak English, if you haven't gone through the proper training courses, you shouldn't be behind the wheel of a big rig. These are 80,000-pound vehicles that can be incredibly dangerous when things go wrong. The problem is that you had Joe Biden that let tens of millions of people into the country, and then you have liberal governors who said, well, they got to work, so let's give them commercial driver's licenses and put them on the American roads, endangering the safety of the American people. You mentioned this individual who was driving a motor coach from China, illegal, and taking the lives of good American folks. We want to do this right, and I don't have a law enforcement at US DOT, so I can't go in across the states and do these checks. I have to rely on the state's law enforcement to help me out. But what I can do, Brian, is I can pull their money. That's the leverage that I do have. And as long as they don't comply, there's statutory rules by which I have to abide by. I have to give them, time to comply with our rules. But if they don't, I guarantee you that the federal taxpayer is not going to fund their roads and bridges and their systems when they're putting illegals on the roads and endangering the lives of the American people. And you know this, if you get a driver's license in Colorado, New York, or California, you don't stay in those states. You actually travel across the country, so you endanger every single American by putting an unqualified driver behind the wheel as they travel across all of the lower 48. Incredibly dangerous.
Look at these. Tagged a few while that was playing. Kamala Harris is apparently now taken up a new, I don't know if this is like a career path for her, but she's giving dating advice.
The important piece of this, though, for anyone who is single, who wants to be in a relationship, is to be kind to yourself and choose to be with someone who is kind.
Oh man, the word salad just starts right up.
That's really important.
You have to be kind in your kindness.
As
you're being kind to others.
Choose to be with someone who allows you to
be kind.
Laugh at yourself.
Kindly.
And them. Choose to be with someone who, you like going to the grocery store together, taking a walk together, including doing something fancy together. And there are different phases in your life, and depending on what phase you're in. Maybe
What phase are you in?
you're going to choose that you want to have that kind of Friday night relationship, or you want that Sunday morning relationship.
Sometimes they go together, and sometimes
you can get both, and sometimes they just is oil and water.
Yes.
Right?
This is making me hate women. I'm gonna turn it off now before something bad happens. I don't even know what that might be. But dear God, I think they're actually trying to turn people gay. Duffy. We'll skip. No, we did Duffy. Epstein file stuff.
Scott, good morning.
Hey, Vlad, good morning. A CBS News
This morning, all right.
team of journalists are still combing through more than 10,000 files just made public.
I'm sure you are.
A few hours ago. And these latest materials offer some new details on Jeffrey Epstein's associates, including, among other people, President Donald Trump. At this hour, the newest release appears to include court records, emails, news clippings, photos, spreadsheets, audio, and hundreds of video files. One revealing Department of Justice email says Trump flew on Epstein's plane many more times than had previously known. According to the email, Trump is listed as a passenger on at least 8 flights between 1993 and 1996, including at least 4 that co-conspirator Ghislaine Maxwell was on board. The email also notes Trump flew on 2 occasions with women described as possible witnesses in a potential Maxwell case. In a likely already public criminal case filed in 2020 by a Jane Doe against the estate of Jeffrey Epstein. The plaintiff alleges that when she was 14, Epstein introduced her to Trump at Mar-a-Lago in the mid-1990s. President Trump has never been charged in connection with Jeffrey Epstein, and these newly released documents do not accuse him of any crime or wrongdoing. CBS News continues to review the material, and we will report additional details, Vlad, as they are verified.
All right. So, Scott, we know that Congress originally set a deadline to release all of the files. That was last Friday. What are the repercussions of that?
Yeah, there are some in Congress who say the administration is just flouting the law. And yesterday, Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer of New York talked about a possible legal challenge against the administration. Unclear how that would work or if that would be effective. But Vlad.
Yes, Vlad. And what about Zoran? Incoming New York City Mayor Zoran Mamdani will be sworn into office by Letitia James and Bernie Sanders. What? I mean, I get Letitia James, but why Bernie Sanders? He from Vermont. What? Bizarre. 60 Minutes report on Salvadoran prison pulled from CBS appears to pop up online. Why did they pull it? It's just too cruel to the Browns. It must have been too mean to the Browns. Okay, shelf segment on, yes, the notorious Sikot prison. Apparently circulated online with Global TV logo after CBS News yanked the report just hours before its scheduled Sunday night broadcast, citing the need for additional reporting. Oh boy, I wonder what kind of bullshit they tried to pull in this. Story killed for political reasons? Potentially. We'll see. DOJ has filed the 2008 government emails pertaining to events that led to the secret provisions of Jeffrey Epstein's plea agreement, including his work release. Oh. Almost all the names of those government officials involved are redacted. This means no one can see who was involved and how those decisions were made. Last I checked, the Epstein Files Transparency Act did not call for prosecutors or even any lawyers' names to be redacted. Yeah, you would think so. That doesn't make any sense at all. Unless, well, I don't even want to go down that path. That would really be something. I'm gonna say unless they're being called as witnesses in another case that's still ongoing. Now that would be something. Totally unrelated note. Here's Ghislaine Maxwell bragging about flying a Black Hawk in Colombia and firing rockets at guerrillas. Seriously, they let her fire live rockets at people. Oh yeah, vaguely remember this. Cuckoo fired a rocket into a supposed terrorist camp. Psycho. Minnesota mayors warn how fraud has harmed their cities.
And how these decisions ripple outward. Fraud, unchecked spending, and inconsistent fiscal management in St. Paul have trickled down to our cities, reducing our capacity to plan responsibly, maintain infrastructure, hire and retain employees, and sustain core services without overburdening local taxpayers. Our state owes it to our citizens to practice responsible fiscal management and to stop taxing our families, seniors, and businesses out in Minnesota. We urge the legislature to course correct and to remember that every dollar you manage belongs not to the capital, but to the people of Minnesota. Quite powerful words when you look at and how these decisions ripple outward. Fraud, unchecked.
Out of control. Meanwhile, in Michigan, oh great. Oh yeah, the Satanists.
According to the ordinance, quote, the owning, keeping, or harboring of pigs, horses, cows, sheep, goats, llamas, domestic fowl, outdoor rabbits is prohibited, and this section does not apply for temporary religious sacrificial purposes as permitted by law.
Our city is dirty enough. We don't want to make more dirty.
Debates raged on for at least 3 hours at Hamtramck City Hall over the new ordinance of sacrificing animals.
Really ridiculous, catastrophic resolution.
If it's not passed, then we are ready to take it to the court for the religious rights. It is constitution.
This was the second debate of the new ordinance, and there was a crowd outside of the City Hall chambers filling out cards to speak, and they were watching it on closed-circuit TV.
No, it's not safe or sane or humane because basements or kitchens or backyards are not suitable places for live animal slaughter.
Many people, including Muslim residents, were against it, citing sanitary concerns if the animals are sacrificed in a home and not in a sterile environment, especially in the tight-knit neighborhoods of Hamtramck. The ordinance that was passed on Tuesday night says religious sacrificing of animals can be done as long as it is done legally and humanely.
I think it's the best compromise. We don't want to restrict religious freedoms, and we don't want to keep it random without regulations.
Many Muslims pay a butcher to perform the religious sacrifice, but for some families, it's just not practical, says Nawar Ali with CARE Michigan.
A lot of families will typically do it in the confines of their property, like in their backyard, their garage, and again, dispose of the animal accordingly.
Insane. Not humane, by the way they do it. They string the frickin' things up upside down and stab it in the neck and let it bleed out. That's how they do it. No stunning anesthetization of any kind beforehand. No disabling their, their brain, spinal cord, nothing. They just string them up and bleed them out from the neck. Takes a while, during which they're conscious and screaming. I'm no like cuckoo animal rights wacko by any means, but like there's a line, All right, a Lyft driver who was an immigrant went viral after harassing passengers upon realizing they were attending America Fest. Nuts. What? Accusing Republicans of slaughtering people before abandoning them on the highway.
My friend and I were thrown out of our Lyft from downtown Phoenix to our friend's house in Scottsdale, all because we were at the Turning Point America Fest conference in Phoenix.
If this place is so bad, why did you come here from your country?
Would you like to come out of the car?
If it's so terrible in America, why are you here?
I don't think we need to. Why are you terrorizing me?
I'm not. You were just cussing me.
I don't think we need to engage in that. Why are you terrorizing me?
You were cussing us for being at a conference. I did not.
You said that you were a bitchy, you were not.
I said you were complaining. I know, you do what you need to do.
I don't think we need to. I think we can have a discussion as adults. I think you should stop talking.
And I asked you to do the same, and that's when you cussed me. Oh, now you want to be quiet because I'm videoing. Now you want to be a little mild-tempered when you were cussing and hollering a second ago, saying that we slaughtered your people, and I ain't slaughtered nobody. Huh?
You did.
I ain't slaughtered nobody.
You terrorized.
Who have I slaughtered and terrorized?
You telling me what to do? This is my country.
I'm not telling you to do anything. You are telling us that America is a terrible place that slaughters people and that we need to get out because I was not born here.
Do you want to come out of the car?
You do what you need to do, ma'am.
All right, cancel the ride.
No, I'm not canceling nothing.
No, you cancel it, bitch.
Ma'am, I don't know why you chose to get upset with us about something that nobody in this car has the responsibility and or the power.
Oh, they're with a black guy. Uh-oh.
That may be the case, but there's everybody.
I bet that made her extra mad.
Every heritage has formed some type of hate towards their people. All of you are making this with your own hands. No. We don't have any power in this.
This is gracious.
Who this lady is right here.
Whoa! Assault! Yeah, buddy! Get it done, son.
Yep, I'll be sending it in. Yep, I will be sending this in. And now she's gonna drop us off right here on the side of the road, and that's just fine.
Alright, man.
Oh man, she is in deep doo-doo.
You have a wonderful
That's the end of that shit career.
day.
Get out.
Unlock the door. This is the lady in a Honda HR-V They want to kick us out of our car because we were at
dangerous.
The America Fest conference. This lady right here. This woman. Right there.
Wow, man. That is like whole nother level. Dude. People are losing it, man. All right, back in Somaliland. Oh, sorry, Columbus, Ohio.
A business owner in Northgate showing us a video of her employees being detained by ICE Thursday at a gas station on Cleveland Avenue.
Y'all really out here just kidnapping people.
She says the pair have been working for her for the last year.
Called deporting, sir.
These people are good, innocent people. The only crime they
It's nice they can go be good, innocent people back in Somalia.
committed in this country is come to this country to work.
In fact, a lot of these business owners tell me in this plaza they cater towards the immigrant community, and they're shocked
Oh, I'll bet they do.
and scared to see these ICE agents coming right at their front door.
Yeah, that's the idea.
All what they do is work and helping the small business in town.
Oh, look, now he hides fake. This is crazy, bro.
A business owner in North.
Bye-bye. Bon voyage. School district under fire over wooden boxes allegedly used to punish students. What? Huh?
For these parents.
Outrage in a northern New York State school district.
I'm here to speak for my grandson, who was put
In a box? They locked kids in a box?
Family's claim is depicted in these photos. A wooden box which appears to be in the corner of a classroom and used as punishment for students, including some who have special needs. Chrissy Onyenta.
Wow. They locked developmentally challenged children in a wooden box to punish them.
A parent and former Salmon River Central School District board member posted the photos to social media, given to her, she says, by teachers who recently left the district.
It broke my heart. When I received those photos, I myself became physically ill.
New York Governor Kathy Hochul calling the allegations alarming, ordering the state's independent education department to rectify this situation. Many parents speaking out at a public meeting Wednesday night.
He explained to us that if you are angry or if you are sad, this is where you go when it's time to calm down.
What was the mood that night? A lot of anger, a lot of sadness.
The district superintendent issuing a statement saying at no time was the item depicted in the photographs used by any student at Mohawk School. The district also serves a nearby indigenous tribe. Tribal leaders calling for the superintendent's removal and an independent investigation.
This is not right at all.
The district's Board of Education announcing an investigation while reassigning the superintendent to home duties pending the outcome. But some community members say the damage is already done. Valerie Castro, NBC News.
We thank you for watching.
Jeez, dude. DOJ releases tens of thousands more Epstein files with caveat that some of these documents contain untrue and sensationalist claims made against President Trump that were submitted to the FBI right before the 2020 election. That is almost certainly referring to, what is her name? I'm drawing a blank on her name right now, but Sarah Ransom, I think is her name. Sarah Ransom. Who is a complete, like, just grifting wackadoo, basically. She just used the Epstein case as a springboard to launch all kinds of efforts to, like, bilk people out of money, and she claimed all kinds of wacko shit, like totally fucking nuts. I'm guessing it's probably that. Probably Sarah Ransom. Could be wrong, but I think she later recanted and like all kinds of. It's a mess. Mark Wayne Mullen, we're starting at the top of the Library of Congress during a snowstorm. I don't know what's this about.
I should have done this a long time ago. I don't know why I haven't. This is too much. But I am excited about bringing you guys along. All right, guys, we're in the Library of Congress. We're going
Quite a building.
up the elevator, headed to the Dome. I've never been to the Dome. This is my first trip, and so we are blessed to be able to get the tour today, and I get to take you along with me.
Hi, I'm Brian Williams with the Library's Congressional Relations Office.
And he's the one showing us. We're walking up the stairs. Guess what? We also got my beautiful bride with me today, Christy. And Chandler, who we know is scared of heights.
This is the best view in Washington.
Yeah.
Come on, let's see it.
Look, we got a secret phone to get buzzed in. I feel so
Hi, this is
important.
Brian Williams with the Congressional Relations Office. I have a group of 6 going to the Jefferson Dome. That's just letting the police know who's upstairs so they don't get excited and come pay us a visit.
Wow.
Now, how old is this?
The building opened in 1897. This was the first public federal building in Washington built with electricity.
Wow. Huh.
We're going outside. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. I've been up here
Wow, he wasn't kidding. That really is the best view in Washington. Holy cow.
for 13 years. That's crazy. And this is my first time to get up here.
Yeah, there's no place else to get a view like that.
I'm excited, guys. This is neat.
Watch you get scared. Stop it.
Look at the view of
Wow.
the Capitol.
So, for the first 97 years, the library was located in the Capitol. But then the Copyright Office was located within the library, and we started bringing in all the material through copyright deposit and quickly outgrew the space that was in the library. When the building opened, it held 1.5 million books. This building now holds 5 million books. In 1939, we opened this building. That's now called John Adams Building. That holds 10 million books. Get around the corner here to see our third building here on Capitol Hill is the James Madison Building. Our special collections are located there. So things like manuscripts, prints and photographs, geography and map. That opened in 1980.
What a building.
The
Look at
Madison
that.
building has how many books stored in it?
Well, that's very hard to count. Our manuscript division is located there. They have 66 million items in the manuscript division.
Wow.
Prints and photographs division has 15 million items. Our geography and map division has about 6 million items. So millions upon millions of smaller items than a typical book are stored in that building.
Wow.
Just amazing. The 360 view with all the different things you get to see
Quite a city.
is really neat.
Due to the building restriction height, or building height restriction. There's no other city like it, really. So flat and spread out. I love it. I love it as a city, strictly, aside from all the, baggage that it comes with. Beautiful place. It really is.
It's really neat.
This is a visit you only get to make with a member of Congress.
Wow. U.S. GDP, yeah, I saw completely demolished expectations today. 4.3% in Q3. That's good. Definitely a good sign.
Second time around the block delayed. Third quarter numbers, we're looking for 3.3. Zoom, zoom, zoom. 4.3%. 4.3%. That is a nice jump. And I know many may question data gathering, but on the surface, this would be the strongest quarter going back to the third quarter of 2023 when it was 4.7. This is strong.
That's good. Okay. 14th district of Georgia, Marjorie Taylor Greene's district. As running, I guess.
Over the last 2 weeks, I've been in prayer and reflection with my family and sought guidance from community leaders across Northwest Georgia, the White House, and the halls of Congress. With the upcoming vacancy for Georgia's 14th congressional seat, one thing is clear. We need an America First fighter to stand strong for President Trump's agenda. I've been a fighter all my life, as a college athlete, cancer survivor, Air Force officer, and America First prosecutor. I'm one of you. Raised right here in the North Georgia mountains, where too many front porches have empty chairs because of the fentanyl that's flooding across the left's wide open border. As a military veteran and a prosecutor, I've worn the uniform of this country, stood in courtrooms right here, putting violent criminals and drug traffickers behind bars, fighting every single day for the safety of our families and our communities. For far too long, we watched factories close and good-paying jobs vanish while Washington ships our future to China. I'm running to bring manufacturing back to Chatsworth, Dalton, Rome, Chickamauga, and Cedartown, so our kids can one day still raise a family on one honest paycheck in the same community where their ancestors are buried. I want to ensure we protect and grow our economy from Trenton to Dallas, from Hiram to Rocky Face. North Georgia raised me. I've served this country in uniform. The people of this district trusted me to keep our streets safe as a prosecutor, and now I'm asking you to send me to Washington to keep our country safe. I'm not a career politician. I'm a mountain kid who loves this place and wants to fight for it. And when I get to Congress, I'll have President Trump's back on behalf of Northwest Georgia. I look forward to earning your vote to ensure we bring faith, duty, and America First values to Washington, D.C.
Never heard of him, but seems all right. Give him a follow. Okay. President Trump says anybody that disagrees with me will never be the Fed chairman. Say it like it is, I guess, right? Rep. James Comer reveals that 75% of Somalis in Minnesota, of course, are on welfare. The other 25%, I guarantee you, are cheating the system somehow.
Because they don't want to offend that population. And the early numbers that I'm getting in on the Somalis in Minnesota is 75% of the Somalis in Minnesota are on full government assistance. That's full welfare. The whole reason that the Democrats left the border open during the Biden administration was to allow people to come in and what they said would provide jobs, you know, because there's a shortage of workers. And I agree there's a shortage of workers, but you got a massive population in that one state, and the overwhelming majority of that population's on Medicaid, and then and other types of government programs. Even when Democrats say there are no illegals on Medicaid, I think that's going to be proven to be false.
Look in Minnesota, right. Yeah. Chairman,
because they don't want to offend that population. And
Trump ally who ousted Cheney launches Senate bid to keep GOP seat in Republican hands. What's her name? Hageman. Harriet Hageman. Yep. I like her. She's quite all right. Yeah, Tim Walz. Oh, yeah, I tagged this. Sorry, I had a couple other ones I tagged too. Let's see.
So, this is what happens when your own federal government wages war against you. This is what happens when they target communities for their own benefit. This is what happens when they scapegoat. And this is what happens when they no longer hide the idea of white supremacy, when you hear the Vice President of the United States talk about now white people won't have to apologize for being white.
Did you really just talk about scapegoating in the previous breath, right before saying that?
That's never happened once in my whole damn life. And I think everybody in this room knows what they're doing. So we're here today to say
white people have never had to apologize for being white. You've never, really? Because I distinctly remember multiple incidents during 2020 where white people were kneeling down and kissing the boots, literally, of black people.
Say enough of this. We're here today to stand that Minnesota will protect their neighbors. So,
Ooh, more Epstein stuff, yeah. Let's see. Matt Gaetz first.
As we join you this evening, America is still digesting the hundreds of thousands of documents released by the Department of Justice regarding the activities and associates of Jeffrey Epstein. Most notable and prominent in this release are the many pictures of former President Bill Clinton in varying degrees of naked with women who do not appear to be Hillary Clinton. Shocking. Bill Clinton. Who could have guessed? But who really was Jeffrey Epstein, and why was he doing all of this? Some want you to believe he's just a pervert, someone who had harmful and illegal proclivities that ultimately led to his suicide. I don't believe that, and evidence we are going to review tonight explains why. Evidence that we believe ties Epstein directly to the CIA and potentially Mossad and other intelligence services. While the release of these documents does evidence my claims, I'll point out my viewpoint on the matter isn't a new one. I explained who and what Jeffrey Epstein was on the Benny Johnson show last year.
I actually think that on Epstein, it was a foreign government that took him out. I don't think it was a domestic enterprise. Really? I do. I'm not going to say which one, but I don't think it was domestic inspired to take out of him. I think that was a foreign operation, government sponsored.
So foreign operation took out Epstein inside of our prison?
Yes.
So they must have been allowed to.
Oh, I think it was in concert with people in our government.
Wow.
But not at like some, low-level guard getting bribed kind of way.
Yeah.
At a state-to-state level.
Wow. So that's probably a lot of partied interests in keeping that under wraps.
You better believe it. Weapon systems at play, global deals at play.
So what if Epstein was MI6 or CIA? What activities would he have done? A report from Dropsite News helps answer this question, and it begins with Iran-Contra. The public learned of the Iran-Contra scandal in 1986 when a CIA front group called Southern Air Transport lost a plane in Nicaragua. Southern Air Transport then quickly needed to move their fleet out of Central America, and Epstein helped them. He helped Southern Air Transport set up a new base in Columbus, Ohio, where very interestingly, they became the fleet transporting women's lingerie. That's right. They went from moving Contras, guns, drugs, and money to running undies, bras, and teddies. And who did Jeffrey Epstein set up with this new air shuttle service for panties? Les Wexner was a billionaire fashion mogul who owned Victoria's Secret, Abercrombie & Fitch, and other brands. The Times of Israel spoke to an author who studied Epstein and mentions
So he was a panty merchant?
Mossad links and the need to review them. And the Washington Times published this story with a viewpoint from an NSA counterintelligence official that Epstein was indeed tied to Mossad. Epstein would eventually get power of attorney over Wexner's fortune. So on one hand, Epstein was getting some of the most powerful people in the world, like Bill Clinton, naked with females on his island, and he was apparently taking pictures. Now, President Clinton doesn't seem to know all of these photos are being taken in all cases. That's weird, too. So why was Jeffrey Epstein taking CIA planes and then handing them off to someone who had potential ties to Mossad? And what was he doing taking these pictures of Bill Clinton?
Latest Jeffrey Epstein file dump reveals troubling art of kids in NYC townhouse.
Oh, really?
Disturbing role play costumes. Yeah, I mean, he was a prolific rapist. It's like, okay, I guess we can learn exactly what his fetishes were. Is this helping us to uncover the worldwide illegal power structures? Not so much.
Yeah, seen all these. This one. Creepy. All the sex costumes. What was that? Two young boys looking at each other's peepees.
Down to you about all of the art that these people are.
What is? Oh, it's AI. Okay. No, hold up. Okay, what is this?
Of wood strewn throughout. They go on to say occultish purpose of these types of enclave in the U.S. Virgin at work here. So again, you've got an owl, you've got Moloch, you've got the symbol of.
They're actually cockatoos. They're not owls.
Bohemian Grove or Athena.
Cockatiel, is that what it is? Cockatiel,
or whatever other name they apply to these neo-pagan worship ceremonies. And a New York Post reported sicko financier Jeffrey Epstein's twisted pedophile island included an unnerving temple-like building featuring an elaborate ceiling mural depicting signs of the zodiac and a pair of ratty mattresses. The cube-like building, adorned in Grecian-style black, blue and white stripes, was erected at the highest point of the sprawling private enclave in the U.S. Virgin Islands, flanked by palm trees and positioned overlooking the sea on a two-tier stone terrace decorated with bold pink geometric shapes. Now here is a very distinct shelving inlay. Of course, as it notes on Gateway Pundit, the bookshelf with two columns reminiscent of the Masonic Jachin and Boaz. Some of the most prominent symbols in Masonry are the two pillars. It goes back to the Temple of Solomon. And these two pillars are, of course, differently designed. One has a
I believe you'll see that elsewhere, too, not just in Masonry.
texture to it. The other is straight up and down, again, representing the occultish purpose of these types of decorations. The interior of the mysterious structure, the purpose of which was not immediately clear, appeared to be in a state of disrepair despite its grandiose decor, with exposed cement board panels as well as a bit of wood strewn throughout. They go on to say a few observations.
Just in some quick research here on my phone while that was playing. So that column style specifically on the right, go back with the swirl. See right there, the kind of swirly column. Look at this. That is known as a Solomonic column. Believed to have come from the temple in Jerusalem. How interesting. Wonder what kind of wood they're made from. Certainly looks nice. Oh, well, video's frozen. That's great.
Latest of bathhouses, occultish purpose of these types of decorations.
There we go.
The interior of the mysterious structure, the purpose of which was not immediately clear, appeared to be in a state of disrepair despite its grandiose decor, with exposed cement board panels as well as a bit of wood strewn throughout. They go on to say a few observations on this report by the New York Post. One, the temple is not in disrepair. It's being dismantled after the Epstein trafficking ring was busted.
Yep.
The building style is not related to Greece. It is.
I believe in later imagery of that building, I don't think this was there. I think maybe the shelves were, but I don't think the pillars may not have been. I'll have to double check that, but
the Epstein trafficking ring was busted. The building style is not related to Greece. It has been a long time since internet sleuths found this temple copied a style of bathhouses in Aleppo, Syria,
which itself probably copies something else much more ancient.
Although I think there are other inspirations you can point to as well.
Yeah.
And finally, 3, the purpose of the temple is clear, disturbing as it may be. The question is what kind of religion or cult was practiced there with Islamic stripe patterns, golden domes, bird statues, and constellations on the ceiling. Plus, they're all Jews. That's a disturbing thing to think about, so people prefer to call it a gym, a ceiling mural depicting the mythical images of the constellations. And I thought this...
Look at that. I wonder what that is made out of.
Was weird. This is the type of stuff, I don't know, man. I don't know what to make of this stuff anymore. On the Gateway Pundit, they say the mattresses most probably were used by workers dismantling the temple. do other people read that and just accept it? This is what blows my mind. Gateway Pundit, pretty good, right? One of the best outlets out there for truthfulness and reporting in politics. They point out the Masonic influences. They're pointing out the occultish purpose of this building, obviously. But it's almost like I can never read an article without at least one line just making me go, what the hell are they talking about? Like, I honestly want to know, if you're reading this article and you come upon a picture of mattresses and you see that the subtitle is "The mattresses most probably were used by workers dismantling the temple," does that make sense to you? Because it doesn't make sense. Just play that out in your head. What? Okay, so the workers dismantling the temple, what they do, go to a mattress firm, they hop over to the other island, bring over mattresses, haul them up to the top of the hill, put them in the temple because they're going to dismantle the temple for so long they're going to have to sleep there? What are you talking about? Again, it doesn't even matter. It literally doesn't matter. It's just like kind of a one-off thing. But I don't know, man. It's like with the Candace Owens stuff, and it's like,
I mean, it is an island.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Like, they're going to have to sleep somewhere
in the world. I don't know what's happening in people's minds. I don't know why people would
I'm not going to like necessarily rule it out, but
write something
definitely a little weird
like that. And, you know, again, it doesn't mean anything. It's completely random and non-important, but
go back to those pillars, man. Oh, and all that. Yeah, I want to see that. Oh, weird. Cygnus.
Gateway
Scorpio.
Pundit, pretty good, right? One of the best outlets out there for truthfulness.
Yeah, so in older representations of the pillars of Solomon's temple, a lot of them you'll see do look the same here, but look here, there's an older one from I believe like it was like the 1700s or something. You can see they have two different pillars. I don't know where I found the other one at, but let's see. Oh, that's it. Found it on my phone earlier. It definitely would seem to be a reference to Solomon's temple, though. Which should probably concern you a little bit if... Oh, there you go. There it is. 1734 engraving. Solomon's temple, copper columns. Yakin et Buz. Was it Dutch? Interesting. That base definitely looks quite similar too. Look at that. Interesting. All right. Well, anyway, let's keep going. co-executive director of policy at Cedar Riverside Community Council in Minnesota, Abdisamid Awed, once said that America isn't really that important, and he's only here for the interests of Somalia, and to use elected Somalians in the U.S. to help Somalia.
aniga maadaama nin Soomaali weyn aad iyo aad u weyn tahayna oo ka soo sanana taageero other thing runtii markii la ka hadlayo anaga as far as the vision of this urur ma aha le dalkan ma aha le Mareykankan.
Not about America. I think when a lot of people, we're talking, they emphasize Minnesota and the Somalian community.
I think that.
Okay. Truthfully, let's stop lying. Somalians in Minnesota will forever be tied to Somalians in our country. You understand. This organization can never be removed. If we are Somalians, how we can fight to help our country and people. We need to gather the resources we have right now. That's our resources, yours and mine. That's sitting here in America. If that's our brothers and sisters with power, like the one who sits in Congress, Ilhan Omar. So truthfully, it's really important. It's a really important endeavor. What I'd like to say is congratulations. Hopefully everyone Somalian will support you, God willing. Unbelievable. Former Republican Senator Ben Sass, two-time senator, diagnosed with metastatic, stage 4 pancreatic cancer. Says he's going to die. Chinese investment firms buying hundreds of American schools?
Groups have been buying up schools across the United States, including Spring Education Group, with ownership of 240 schools across 19 states. And they're funded by a Chinese investment firm whose CEO has been described as, quote, an ardent Chinese nationalist. Xi Van Fleet was born in China, and she lived through the Cultural Revolution. She joins us now. She always great.
Going to use them to educate their kids here in this country.
To have you on. You know what? I've been following a lot of stuff with the CCP. I didn't even know that they were, owning or donating to 240 schools. Explain to our viewers why the Chinese would want to have this happen, what they're up to.
Yeah, I think it's so important for Americans to understand that CCP, since its founding in 1921, always regard America as its arch enemy and has been never stopped working to weaken and undermine the United States in order to replace it to become world superpower. And education has been the very important battleground. And since the early 2000s, they started with the higher education, with the Confucius institutions everywhere in the United States. And then they moved to the public schools with donation and exchange programs such as sister school programs. And now they're moving towards private schools, buying a lot of them. And so in 2015, they bought the high school, New York Military Academy, where Trump attended. Yeah. And why? They're not here to make money. They're not invest to make money. They're here to take over American education and turn our classroom into the little red classroom and our education into American education with CCP characteristics. What they really want is generations of people like Hassan Piker. This influencer just went to China and then told his millions of followers that China offered the solution for America. Communism is the solution to the problems that capitalism created in America. That is what they want. And that is very, very dangerous.
Yeah, it certainly is. And by the way, you mentioned that New York Military Academy, that is the school that President Donald Trump, so clearly they're trying to influence the elites in the future elites in our society. Absolutely. It makes a lot of sense that they would try and buy off these private schools where very rich people send their kids, these are well-connected students students who then go on to have high positions in our society. I've been hearing a lot about, the Chinese buying up farmlands, but actually this is even more effective.
Pain, man. FBI accused of corrupting Epstein jail footage after his death. Huh. Okay. Creepy. He's purchasing children's toys and girls' school uniforms through Amazon. What? Ew. What the heck? Bizarre. Alright, I don't know when we get to the details here. They were mentioned in the headline. FBI corrupting footage. Yeah, I don't see it here. Yeah. Yeah. Oh well. Trump Kennedy Center Vice President of PR Roma Duravi. Let's see, do we want to do this? Clear up some misconceptions about the board's unanimous vote. Rename the venue. It's actually 10 minutes long. We'll skip. DOJ cautions that newly released Epstein files contain unfounded and false claims about Trump. See if there's any details about what those were. I'm guessing it's the Sarah Ransom stuff, but... Come on. Okay, new drop includes an after-action review of Epstein's suspicious death in prison. January 8th, 2020 email warns a colleague for the sake of situational awareness that flight records they received show Trump had traveled on Epstein's private jet many more times than previously has been reported or that we were aware. Interesting. Okay. Another email from June 14th, 2021 from someone helping out with the responsiveness review for WBTW. Says that former Trump advisor Steve Bannon's iPhone has an image of Trump and Ghislaine Maxwell. The phone was being reviewed on Celebrite. Interesting. How did they get that? Who got a Celebrite image of Bannon's phone? Is part of what case, I wonder? Weird. Andrew Mountbatten Windsor asked Ghislaine Maxwell if she had found him new inappropriate friends. Epstein files email shows. New inappropriate friends. I think we all know what that could refer to. Young ones? Yeah. Oh, yeah, George Conway. The fathead himself. The Oompa Loompa. Taking steps to run for a congressional seat in New York. 12th District. Oh boy, credible Minnesota whistleblower is now coming forward telling the House that Tim Walz and A.G. Ellison were told years ago that the fraud was bad, but they did nothing to ensure that Somalis still supported them. Oh, I guarantee you it's worse than that. That is just bare minimum, surface level. They were profiting somehow.
That includes our next guest, House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer. Chairman, thanks so much for joining us. I do appreciate it. I'm glad to see you taking action. The amount of things that are coming across your desk in the first year is just unbelievable to me of this congressional, 2-year term. But tell us what you're seeing in Minnesota, what you plan to do about it.
Well, first of all, for Tim Walz to say he didn't think it reached the billions category, I'm pretty confident it did exceed $1 billion. But let's say it's hundreds of millions of dollars. That's the attitude that so many Democrats I see in Congress and so many Democrats who occupy the governor's offices around the United States. They just don't care about the taxpayer dollars. They don't have any sympathy for the hardworking taxpayers who work hard and send their tax dollars to their state capital or to Washington, D.C. But what we've got in this investigation, Jason, is we've got something that is really helpful in congressional investigations, and that's credible whistleblowers. We're bringing in the state employees who first blew the whistle that there was fraud in Minnesota. And what we're learning is that they've been trying to warn Keith Ellison, the Attorney General, and Tim Walz, the governor, for years. Not
of course they have.
Weeks, not months, but years about the ongoing fraudulent activity from this massive Somali population of Minnesota. And now,
if they didn't know then, they probably took the opportunity to start blackmailing the Somalis into giving them a cut.
neither Walz nor Ellison wanted to do anything about it for political reasons, because this has become a major base for the Democrat Party in Minnesota. So thankfully, we've had some state employees who have come forward. We're going to bring them in and start interviewing and deposing them. Hopefully, we'll get some information on some bank accounts that I can subpoena.
Oh.
And then we'll follow the money and figure out how much money was stolen and who played a part in that.
Yeah, most people don't realize you actually have a banking background, so numbers are not difficult for you.
Oh.
Like they are.
I did not know that.
Or Tim Walz. So I think that will play a key difference. And these whistleblowers are key here. In terms of where you go next, you do the interviews. Do you expect to have public hearings on this? Where does this ultimately go?
Well, we may have hearings, but we've been doing a lot of depositions and transcribed interviews. And I think you would agree, Jason, those just are so much more efficient than public hearings. But I would assume at some point we will have public hearings because the American people are very interested in this. I've heard more people.
We want them now.
Comment on this investigation than any we've done in a long time, because
and further, we want this to be investigated in every state in the union, baby.
It's such a massive amount of money. If you're talking $2 or $3 billion from social programs in the state of Minnesota, which isn't a very big,
it's a small state, yeah.
State, that's a significant percentage of their whole budget for social programs. And we're having to tighten our belt in Washington because we can't continue to spend $3 trillion a year more than we take in, but we want to support our most vulnerable citizens. And to see the Minnesota leadership led by Tim Walz just say, well, it's no big deal. It wasn't that much money, when it was a significant amount of money. But the arrogance and the attitude of just not having any concern whatsoever the tax dollars, that's got to stop. And I think the American people see this, and I hope they're outraged. I hope we'll be able to get information and answers about the fraud as quickly as possible, and we'll let the American people know it, and it'll probably be in a committee hearing, but obviously in a report, and hopefully there'll be criminal referrals to the Department of Justice.
Yeah, my guess is there'll be other states that come along too, because it's happened in Minnesota. My guess is, I don't know, maybe a place like Illinois or somewhere else has the same challenge happening. Chairman Comer.
Crazy. All right. Tom Emmer goes berserk on Tim Walz.
We've been trying to sound the alarm on this fraud for the last 3 years. The press in this state have literally been complicit with Tim Walz and his administration. They've refused to hold them accountable. Here's how ridiculous it is. Last Friday, Maria, Tim Walz created a new position in his state government to go after fraud. 7 years too late.
The letter from nearly 100 Minnesota mayors to state leaders on the fiscal direction of the state says, quote, fraud, unchecked spending, and inconsistent fiscal management in St. Paul have trickled down to our cities, reducing our capacity to plan responsibly, maintain infrastructure, hire and retain employees, and sustain core services without overburdening local taxpayers.
We've been trying to sound the alarm on this fraud for
President Trump jokes he might leave the presidency to be a full-time host as the Trump Kennedy Center honors are broadcasting tonight. That's right. On Paramount CBS, I believe. Yep. CBS and Paramount Plus. I'll be watching that. I'll be checking that out tonight, I think. I got Paramount, so. U.S. economic growth accelerated to a 4.3% annual rate last quarter, blowing past expectations.
You know, it's a fantastic report, 4.3%. It's just about as good as GDP numbers get. And especially coming, you know, on the heels of the CPI report, Consumer Price Index report we got, which you actually showed some interesting data that is consistent with, that showed that core inflation is all the way down to 1.6%. And so I think that these numbers are showing that President Trump's trade policy and his supply side policy, which is really increasing new factory production and so on, is having a big effect, as is his trade policy. So if we abstract from the reduction of the trade deficit, then the 4.3% number would only be 2.6%. So Trump's trade policy is really working as well.
Commissioner Frank Bisignano on the massive improvements at Social Security.
Commissioner, the Office of the Inspector General just completed an audit of the Social Security Administration, finding improvements under your leadership. Your staff served 68 million callers. That is an increase of 65% from last year. Frank, congratulations. We knew your resume going into this would be so perfect to actually clean things up. What are your priorities going into the new year, Frank?
Well, I think first of all, as you can see here, I have the Inspector General's report, and you know, it's right here, and I just read the first paragraph. SSA's publicly reported National 800 number of telephone metrics were accurate, and its overall telephone service performance improved in full year 2025. In full year 2025, SSA served either by SSA employee or automation 68 million callers, as you said, a 65% increase. This audit was derived because Senator Warren refused to acknowledge the work being done by the good career people of Social Security. And I brought to her office a 3-level down manager who, Tiffany Countess, who runs the phone centers, and she explained it to her, and she did not want to believe it. So we agreed to have an audit. And she continued saying the phone service was a mess. The audit was done by the Inspector General and proved that we served more Americans, 65%, than the last administrations. We also answered the phone significantly more timely and drove wait times in field offices down and drove disability claims pending down by 35%. So it was quite satisfying to have the truth told, even though the senator will never want to tell the truth.
Yeah. Okay. All right, there we go. Nothing quite like a festive concert put on by the San Diego Gay Men's Chorus to get you in the holiday spirit, says Adam Schiff. Do I even need to say anything? No. White House. Avoid the nightmare before Christmas. Self-deport voluntarily using the CBP Home app. And get up to $3,000 and have the opportunity to return the legal way. Hopefully not regarding that last bit. How about they just stay wherever they belong and don't come back here ever? We do that. Now we get to the Satanists. Now we get to the Satanists in Michigan. Here we go. Yep. They've got a satanic display, a Yule goat outside the Michigan State Capitol ahead of Christmas. Wow.
We're offline, and I'm so sorry. I've been sitting here. I thought I signed in.
Oh, what happened? Offline?
We're offline and D-Live.
Oh, really? Huh. Okay.
And I've been sitting here because I thought it was signed in.
Oh no.
Sorry. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, look at that, offline. Okay. Let's see what we can find out here. If we're all... You are still good on Rumble, let's see. Okay. So I'm guessing we'll probably pop back in on DLive in the next few minutes here.
Okay.
I'll try let me try restarting it real quick. Oh, here we go. Okay. Be live off. And back on. That did it. Oops, still offline. Oh, weird. It might be a restream issue. It looks like everything's offline.
Oh.
I don't know why. Looked like Rumble was still up, but oh yeah, look at that. Now Rumble's gone.
Does Zoom ever do that to you where you're sitting in here, all of a sudden it just takes you down and you have to go back in and then everything's muted? It like does a glitch thing where
Weird.
everything. Okay. Huh. I think I've heard some of the other hosts say that it's done it to them.
Oh yeah, look at that. Okay. Says it disconnected. Let me restart the app and hit the button again. Hopefully that'll fix it. Good deal. Okay, yeah, there we go. We're back. Good to go. Cool. Well, let me pop my share off and let you get to it.
Okay.
There we go.
Oops.
Cool. There we are. All right. Yay. Fixed. I will, yeah. You have a good show. Thanks. Yeah. Merry Christmas, by the way. If I don't see you before, you know. Yeah, see ya. All right, YouTube. Sorry for the brief hiccup there. Everything went down there except, I mean, obviously YouTube was still okay. I will be back. Where are you guys? Where is my YouTube chat? Oh no. There you guys are. All right. Yeah, I will be back maybe tomorrow morning. It depends on whether Badass Uncle Sam's doing his show in the morning or not. So maybe tomorrow morning. If not, then tomorrow evening. So I'll see you then for Christmas Eve. Hang out. I'm sure it'll be relatively... Well, I don't know. Never say never. It's usually a slow news day, but Who knows this year, right? We'll see. We shall see tomorrow. All right. Have a good night. Bye-bye.